it would go down to 2.
Sandy Lake somewhere.
Well, Chick's got an iWatch.
Makes it.
I
don't even have one of those watches. Oh, it's Fitbit.
I even think 60 is a little.
Keep track of your steps and stuff like that, your heart rate, stuff like that.
75, you can't do that. That's a lot.
I'll send you that.
My wife just got one of those. She tracks her steps all the time. She's keeping track of all that.
I can email that to you if you want. I got it.
We should get a first aid kit though.
Oh, yeah, you gotta replace the chick. It's old.
It just keep hanging up. We got it. You should have one. We have this closed. You're right.
Can we get him a Band-Aid?
You get a notification.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna buy
Okay.
it. 75.
We're live.
Keep that.
We're
Nobody's
live.
gonna buy it.
I think you get one.
We're live and starting in 1 minute.
Okay, that's what I think. I mean, it'll.
Just trying,
you
I'm
can
trying
sell
to find
60,
you a
but I
Band-Aid.
don't think it, or less. than
We
that.
should have a-
Nobody's paying 75 for that. Because it doesn't, it goes right up against the waterfall or the water tower.
Well, when you talk to them, tell them you've got some kind of.
Right.
Yeah, so here you go. See, this one sold 1 acre for 20, but then this Sherman sold for 45. These are those ones that sold. That's around 1.3.
See if you look at those
Okay, I'll put
numbers,
mine
it's a
on.
fair price.
Right, but this is better
How's
developed land, right?
I'm keeping mine on.
So I just forwarded this to you, so you'll see it all. But like this one was 14 acres for 225, that's like 20,000 an acre.
Well, let's work it and talk about it and figure it out.
Well, I have the printer if you want to come by my, it's sitting
All
in my
right.
office with the-
All right, we are, it is 8:00. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
All those in attendance, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then a moment of silence for prayer or meditation. Thank you. Okay, we have announcements and correspondences. Any announcements or correspondences, Sue?
Well, I have an announcement. I was gonna save it down to for the good of the order, but this will just work just as good. You know, the Fields Playground Group is a regional all-inclusive playground being built in Randolph. I was over there yesterday. They have put in all the pipes for the swings. They put in the thing for the zip line. On the 28th of this month, the marketing crew from New York for Lowe's will be there. And they're going to be doing some videotaping and introducing their project to celebrate their 100th year of Lowe's. But I wanted everybody to know this is a $750,000 project, and it is regional. It's not local for Randolph. I'm very pleased. It's a five-year endeavor, and we're just very pleased of all the cooperation that we've got from all the surrounding areas and the businesses.
All right, thank you for
Have they
that.
started it yet?
What?
Has it been started?
No, we have to get the mulching and stuff done.
So they started laying
We have to,
pipe and stuff
we
like
have to
that.
prepare the ground. Yeah, we have to put in all the merry-go-round and all that has to go in first, then we put in the ground cover for the kids.
All right, thank you for that update. Any other announcements or correspondences from the board or department heads? All right, hearing none, meeting guest, is Crystal not coming today?
No, that's
Okay. All right, Crystal's unable to attend. Meeting minutes. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes for 9/7/2021 public hearing and 9/8/2021 public meeting.
So moved.
I will second that. Any discussion on those?
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
I need a motion to approve today's agenda.
I need to add to it.
Okay, I need a motion first.
I'll make a motion.
second.
All right, discussion on the agenda.
I have under number 2A, under fiscal office. Fire admin, contract, construction contract.
And then I want to add under Park and Rec's new business, set date, Brimfest 2022.
So that'll be 2C as in Charles, Brimfest 2022. Any other changes or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, roll call, please.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion for purchase orders.
so move.
I will second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Abstain.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion for warrants.
so move.
I'll second.
All those in favor, Mike,
You have to abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
All right, now we'll open up the floor to public comments and questions. We ask for the board that you would state your name, address, and then 5 minutes for each presenter. So who would like to go first? All right, floor is yours, 5 minutes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. My name is Attorney Wesley Buchanan. I live in Brimfield, 1324 Aaron's Way, Aarons Way. I'm a candidate for municipal court here in Portage County, and one of the reasons that we're running is to affect Brimfield. As everybody knows, that there is a problem with the hotels. I do criminal defense primarily, and we want to start a human trafficking court here in Portage County. That's all about on state money, so it doesn't have to worry about the township or anything else like that. So it's also cost neutral. We want to make sure that the hotels here in Brimfield, because anybody that is criminal offense at all in this county knows that as soon as you know what's that kind of deal, go to the Brimfield Hotel right here at 43, or the hotels up in Streetsboro, off of the Turnpike 480 and 14, and they immediately start trafficking and start selling themselves for drug money and everything else like that. And as a municipal court, we have the opportunity to step in, get programming, and make sure that we can combat this problem here, especially in the Brimfield area. So again, thank you so much. Joe Santich is also here. I appreciate it, and as a resident, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, hey, that was quick.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Wesley Buchanan.
Buchanan. Okay, thank you.
No need to mince words.
Right.
And I'm an attorney, I get paid by the hour. You guys can all appreciate that, so I understand what 5 minutes is, and I speak in front of a large group, so I know when you were like, so thank you.
Now, I had the opportunity to meet with you at Brimfest also and talk about some of your ideas, so glad you were able to come. Floor is yours, sir.
Yes, hi, hello. I'm Attorney Joe Sanchez Jr. I'm also a candidate for municipal court here in Portage County. I've lived in New York for 21 years. And I came down today to also say that, this is part of what we want to do, a human trafficking court. This is a state grant that you apply through the Supreme Court of Ohio. It's something that doesn't happen overnight. If you do it the right way, you have to do it the right way. The most recent approval was with the Youngstown Municipal Court. It took them 1.5 years. Our feeling is that at Youngstown, the city is 60,000 people, and I'm from that area. It's a rough place. We have problems here too, and we're a county of 160,000. So the other thing I can tell you, this concept of this human trafficking court began in Columbus in 2009. It is what was one, I believe, the first one in the country, and it received publicity. So over the course of 12 years, they can show, this is state grant money from the Supreme Court, they can show that its cost benefit in terms of what's put into the program saves the cost of recidivism and repeat offense, if given time. But you have to be patient with it, and you have to do it the right way. The other, so that I just wanted to add that, doing my research, there is one in Cleveland, there's one in Akron, but Columbus is the flagship, and they're really the model. And thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you for that.
You guys sure you're attorneys? You talk too fast.
Again, we don't want your eyes to glaze over.
All right. Chick, you have anything today?
No, I'm just glad to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here.
You didn't ride the scooter down here, did you?
No,
Not yet.
it's a little bit drowsy outside.
All right. Well, thank you both for attending today and giving us that update on your election. All right. Hearing no other public comments, I will move into safety concerns. Do we have any submitted safety concerns? Department heads or board members? Okay. All right. Hearing none, we will move into the business portion of our meeting. Roy, Police Department, your floor is yours, sir.
Thanks, Nick. Really just a couple of minor items for you this morning. I had updated the board previously on the 2 new cruisers that came in. We had some significant delay this year due to manufacturing issues in the supply chain. And we had Hall Public Safety and graphics taking care of the equipment and set up in those cars. That is done. Both of those cars are now in service on patrol. So we finally got that completed and underway. Our new admin assistant records clerk, Yolanda, is in training right now. She's on day shift training with Patty, and she's going to be going to night shift training with Deb here soon. So she has started with us effective Wednesday of last week and is in training as we speak going forward. Lastly was really just a note on the community days at our booths. We had a pretty steady supply of folks coming by our booths all day long for both K9 and Dare, and a good opportunity to have folks. So it was just a positive experience on our end. So that's all I really had for you this morning.
All right. On the new cruisers, did we end up turning one in or what happened with that?
Yeah, we traded in. We had one trade-in as part of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, old car 12 went away. That was our last car with our old graphics on it.
The one that was wrecked?
No, it's not that one. So yeah, we did have one trade-in.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you to your staff too for being there for community days. It was great to see the turnout. You had a lot of officers there, and it's always good to see the community involved.
Yep.
All right. Any questions for the police department today? All right. Hearing none, we'll move right into fire department. Craig, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, just like Roy, a couple updates. Community days again, able to provide the breakfast in the morning. Thanks for all that came out and helped with that. Host play events, sausage sales, all went well. I did put out a email out there and let people to respond if they could and what we could do a little bit better or what we did like, because it prompted a few things for me moving forward. So if we respond to that. Station build, we're going to talk about later today. I said 90% there. Well, we're there. So,
Well, let's talk about it now. Okay, because he's just under fiscal is going to be the actual signing of the contract if that's what we decide to do.
Okay.
But now would be a good time to talk about the actual
I'm going to
station.
let you go ahead because you had the contact over the last couple of days with USDA. So
Yeah. So here's where we are right now. There's a couple decisions that we need to make today related to the station build, but let's back up a little bit and talk about how we got to where we are. There have been some delays in getting the station build done. The first delay was based on easements. We found 2 easements that we had to get clarification on, are on township property. The first one was a pipeline. There's an easement for a citizen to run a pipeline through our property from the 90s. Unfortunately, when they wrote that easement, they didn't give us an exact location where the pipe sits on the easement. So we had to bring a surveyor in to figure out exactly the entire area of the easement to ensure it didn't affect building. We got clarification that it doesn't, so we're clear on that easement. There was a second easement that was from the late 40s or 50s that was handwritten in cursive writing and no one could interpret it. It was just an old document. So we had to send it over to legal counsel. They reviewed that and we got clearance on that piece too, as best as we could define that. The second holdup that we're dealing with for this process was the building department. We could not get them to sign off on the building permit under multiple occasions. They had a bunch of change orders they wanted done. Moody Nolan, Rycon, and the building department met this yesterday, came back to us with a letter to move forward. There are going to be some reduction orders related to the elevators, which is going to be a cost savings for us. So we're going to change the elevator setup per the building department's request. However, there was also some change orders that's going to change some egress issues, some UL pieces, and some other small things. Long story short, between the reduction orders and the change orders, we'll break even. So we're not gaining anything, we're not losing anything, but we're satisfying the building department for them to give us a temporary building permit. Reason it's temporary is twofold. Number one, They're not going to sign off on truss and sprinkler systems for a couple more months. That's typical in the build process. Number two, we still need to combine partials. So Mike, I need that to come before your board in October.
Shouldn't have to come to the board. I should be able to sign it.
Okay, and then if you can sign it, then we just need to get that paperwork done, because we're going to combine Wanda's old property with township property, and that will satisfy that
Let me
piece.
jump in there. What do you need to sign?
So it'll be the drawing, it'll be the combination. So you're combining, right?
Do I need to get something for you?
It'll be the Mylar. So the Mylar will say approved by the zoning inspector, and then it'll have the
So it's
signature
nothing
on
we
it.
need to come up with. You should see that.
No, it should be, the surveyor should have it in his legal description should be attached.
Okay, and that's part of phase two of the build. This is a two-phase build. We're going to build a new station first, and then we'll do the renovation and the build on the old admin side. So we have time to work with the building department was okay issuing that at this point.
Sure.
So those were some of the delays that we had to deal with. The question that sits before us before we sign the contract, we could sign the contract today potentially, but this may affect it. Right now, we're using USDA as our loan. Under the USDA loan right now, our interest rate is 2.25%. So if we were to lock in today with this contract, we'll do the USDA loan closing next week, we'd get a 2.25% loan. However, USDA just informed us this morning that if we delay till October 1st, our interest rate would be 2.125. So from 2.25 down to 2.125%. So that is a cost savings for us as a township. That comes with two risk factors. The first risk factor is the funding and the closing of that loan is dependent on the federal government staying open. If for some reason they do have a shutdown, I know there's been talks that they've came to an agreement. I haven't seen that yet today, but if there was a shutdown, okay. So the House passes it, doesn't need to go through the Senate yet though, is the question. So what we need to think about is, would that happen? If it does, that delays any loan signing until those USDA officials can be on site. So if there's government shutdown, they can't be here. That's the first concern. The second concern is the bigger one, is the delaying in the signing of the contract. We need to communicate with Rycon that we're not going to sign their contract. We'll be outside of that 60-day period from when we initially did our bid process. And then that could come back with Rycon asking to rebid. And if they rebid, then yes, we may save cost savings in percentage, but do material costs go up, and then we got material cost changes.
Can I speak first?
Yeah.
Sign the contract.
Okay.
We've waited too long.
All right.
Well, we
So
run the risk.
And there's too many ifs for that little tiny piece. We got a great rate. I mean,
Oh, that's great.
yeah, we got a great rate. Don't mess with it.
right, but I just want to be full disclosure to everybody. These are the options that are sitting on the table from what I got done this week.
No, I would agree with that too, Craig. I don't want to, it's hard enough to get all this finished and done. I don't want to have to start all over.
Right, we were
again.
supposed to start
Yeah.
2 to 3 months ago. I don't want to delay this for the what ifs again.
Yeah, but what if, and I don't know, it doesn't matter about the rate, but say you, for some reason, Brimfield gets a lot of extra money. Are we allowed to prepay without a penalty?
We can make principal payment on it. See, so even if we take the 2.25, if we're in a position, if we start paying a little bit extra on principal, we're going to save the money anyhow.
The money was allotted to pay at the 2.25%. So yes, can you sit back and say, yeah, it would save us a little bit of money? Yeah, probably, but.
But we also run the risk
Are the
of,
risks worth?
my bigger concern is it's not so much the government shutdown. It sounds like they're getting close, but if Rycon pushes the issue because we're outside of that 60-day bound and says, well, we need to change our prices,
We can't stop
yeah, we could end up eating a lot of costs.
Well,
there.
and let me defend them by saying they've worked with us, but they're only going to wait so long.
Right,
I mean, in fairness to them.
right.
So
So it sounds like we want to move forward. If we want to move forward, here's what needs to happen. Here's the process that we're going to go over the next 2 weeks. Step one would be the approval and signage in the fiscal portion of the meeting today. We need to sign the AIA A101 standard form agreement, the AIA A312 performance bond and payment bond today. That's all in the stack here. We also need to have reviewed the general conditions. I will say that the 101, the 201, and the 312, 2 documents have all been submitted to Mark Gadetti's office. He's reviewed them and submitted a letter, a certificate of owner's attorney review. So he's reviewed the documents. He's good with those. If we sign those today, then those, along with this certificate of owner's attorney, is step 2, needs to go back to Mike Davis. John, he needs this in PDF form, so staff's gonna have to figure out how to scan all this. So that's gonna have to happen today. Yep, if they can scan all this, that'll go back to Mike Davis for review. When he reviews that, he said it takes 1 to 2 business days. He'll give the thumbs up to Mike Antonelli over at USDA at that
When
point.
we get this done, signed today, we'll get it sent over to Mike Davis today.
Okay.
So we'll have it.
While that's happening, we need to start preparing for loan closing. Loan closing does not need to happen in a public session because we've already voted and approved on the loan. Dennis Schwally needs to have the documents completed. He needs about 3 to 4 business days to complete the final loan documents. He said we can sign on the 28th, 29th, or 30th. John, I'd ask that we task your office with scheduling that between the trustees so that we can go over and sign those.
With me 1 second here, just because I'm going next week, but I think I come back on the 30th.
And I'm not sure that you have to be there for those ones, John. You'll have to check with Schwally on that.
No, there's nothing for me to sign on there. I already signed all my stuff. That's
Yeah,
all.
so we just need to figure a time, because he said he's good 28th, 29th, or 30th. We just need to know when Sue can be there, I can be there, and Mike can be there. I need to look at my work calendar
Yeah,
at
I
home
know
for that.
Mike's got issues with mom, so I'm not sure.
Right.
I'll be there.
I didn't want to put it in.
So if we can have Kirsten schedule that for us.
Kirsten,
or
would you
reach
make a
out-
note of that, please?
To reach out to all 3 trustees and we'll get a date. When that's done, Mike Antonelli will then meet with Scott Liggett from USDA. They're the construction analyst to review all the final documents to make sure that we're good. At that point, they will set the pre-construction meeting. So even though the contract's signed and the loan's been approved, we still can't start construction until pre-construction meeting happens. That needs to be a meeting between the township, Rycon, and USDA. All 3 need to be at the table. So once again, there is a potential delay there if there was a shutdown for some reason, because USDA needs to be present at that meeting. After that pre-construction meeting, groundbreaking can happen. So those are the steps that we have over the next 2-3 weeks max to get to the point that we can start doing construction. With that said, once we have signed this document and the loan documents, Rycon can start dropping trailers. They can start storing materials on the township property. They can start their shop drawings right away, and they can start deploying fencing around the property. So they can do a lot of prep work if they're ready to mobilize sooner than we get the pre-con. They can do those pieces. They just can't put shovels in the ground, and we can't sign anything additional with them, the notice to proceed, until we have that pre-construction meeting.
Well, and then I'll start working with Frank, who is our on-site manager.
Right.
And then when does the house come down?
I'd like to have it down sooner than later, but no
I
hurry.
mean, because
No hurry, because that's in phase 2. So
You're gonna be salvaging those pieces in there.
Right.
You're doing training right now, right?
yeah, we're just training in it.
Does Roy know? Does Roy have the opportunity as well, or?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know. We're an empty house.
We got Wanda's old house. If you need it for training, it'll probably be up for at least another month or 2. And we'll talk in pre-construction. So if you needed some more training time out of that facility.
Sometime in the next month.
What, at least a month, because we got to do the pre-construction meeting before we talk about tear down. But if you needed some more time in there, that's a phase 2 project really. So let me know and I can work that in the pre-construction meeting.
I have no interest in keeping the electric or gas on anymore. So if we want to shut that off, shut it all off.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for us to.
there's no
shut
reason to
everything
pay
down.
that bill.
Can we get water shut off too? And so we don't get a pipe burst?
Yeah, shut it all down. Kirsten, is that what you do, John? Look up?
Yeah, she's glad to.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's just get all that disconnected now too.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where we stand. Is there questions about this process? I know it was kind of hurry up and then we were in a lull for a long time. And then we were hurried up again, right? This all transpired over the past 48 hours.
You guys did a good job pushing it along.
Yeah, I just appreciate, Nick, your help to get to this point, because I'll be honest with you, I got confused here last couple of days, like what do we need left? So.
Right. No, that's what we had to do. We
Thank you.
worked as a
Appreciate
team
it.
and we couldn't have done it without each other. So that's the update. So it looks like we're this close. The other thing I will say is let's schedule a groundbreaking ceremony too.
Yeah.
We need to have that conversation with Rycon. Craig, if I could task you with that.
Yeah, we'll
Make
get
sure that we do that right, because this is a big deal for our township. We need a new fire station for a long time. I don't even know where you guys are sleeping now that you've added more staff.
On a corner.
In a recliner the first night, because we didn't even have a bed
Yeah.
for them.
In Wanda's house?
No, just packed in the basement.
They can, we just won't have gas, electric, or water.
They love it. Listen, they all like piling. It's like a boys club down there.
Right.
So.
Well, looking at those new firefighters, they look like boys.
Right. I tell them, I'll put you guys upstairs. They're like, no, we like it down here. All right. So, whatever.
Are you ready for a motion?
Well, we can't do the motion on this till the fiscal
Just
section.
sign it.
Yeah, that'll be in the fiscal section. So we did the
Okay.
update.
I would like to make that motion when it comes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions on the building process?
Great job. Let's break ground.
All right. Floor's back to you, Craig.
I think part of that was when we're talking about the firefighters, again, thank the trustees for allowing us to add the new staffing per our budget, because that helped a ton.
Yeah.
So it's just you saw it at Brimfest.
That was the first time that we've added staff, not to fill,
Yeah.
people leaving or retirements. We actually added staff to our department.
Right. So yeah, that's actually this year's the first time in 10 years we've added staff. So
Right.
it was a needed, and man, it's been nice. So number 4 on my list, just cancel that. That's already been done.
Okay.
After I look back at my notes.
Did we approve it or did you?
No, it's already, it was already approved, and I went back and it was already, yeah, it's already been signed.
Roy, did I delay yours?
It's already been signed, so.
Your
I know it was
dispatch
approved.
contract with Kent State? Did you delay it?
No.
Weren't you looking for,
Craig was talking about it.
okay, but you got everything you need?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I'm looking into different dispatch,
Okay.
but
All right,
I'm still with KSU right
I
now.
just didn't know if we had,
Yeah, that Roy is not.
all right, I couldn't remember who was delaying for a minute. Okay.
All right. Any questions for fire department then?
Thanks for all your help out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great turnout from your staff. I will tell you, the fire hose event was a big hit with the kids. They were all excited about that. So,
Like I said, I think we should have a private meeting coming up very soon to talk about what we want to do beyond.
Yeah.
But we
Positives,
don't
negatives,
need to do it here.
We do need to sit down, but I do think to upgrade your fire hose thing, I think we should have trustees walking back and forth.
As like ducks to
like
shoot.
ducks.
Yeah.
We could
We can do
raise
that.
somebody.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I did do the hose and they gave me the red hat, the red fire hat.
John would be such an easy target though. He's too big.
Just
stay in there.
Serpentine.
You knock me down.
Right.
don't run straight, zigzag.
Greg, we were, no, this is off, but usually when you have your first dig, people wear those yellow construction hats.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be cool if we all had fire hats on when we did it? Since
Yeah,
fire
whatever.
department?
We want the little red ones.
Yeah, I don't care. I got them.
Well, I know, well, then I was just putting it, yeah, you gotta
We'll,
make sure we
we'll,
have.
we'll
some.
make sure we get some multiple pictures with that. So
Well, that, I mean, this is administration too, so we need to
yeah,
have
it is.
We'll have
some
everybody there.
support.
Yep.
All for one.
Admin.
Yep, you move into admin.
I have no old business, new business, talking about soccer fields on an update on that. I do have at least one company that's come out and looked at the property to bid to be on the property excavating on the date we said, I think October 11th. They're waiting on a possibility of, he wants to buy a new dozer in his company. They want to demo one. If he can demo one, he gives us that free charge. So he's waiting on that answer. That's why I don't have it in front of me yet. Did we get the other guy yet?
Yeah, haven't heard from him yet.
Okay, so,
And I did meet with
That's-
them during Brimfest, and I'll tell you, I was really impressed with what they had to say. What they're gonna do is crown the field to dump the water up to the ditches now. Right now, the other dozer company did what we asked. They made it flat, but perfectly flat, so the water's settling, it's not rolling off.
I did walk up and look at that area.
a little bit of what we would do different is recrown it properly, and we need to bring in topsoil and take a little extra time and do it right. So I thought I had enough. You can walk on it. It's like walking on concrete. So we need some topsoil in there. So that's in the works. I'll get back to you on that as soon as I have that. And storage units coming in Thursday for the property. He gave me, he described it as a cat yellow. So it will need to be painted, but he said it's a real nice one. So,
Does it come with a man door on it? Did they cut any of that stuff?
Yeah, it's a 40-foot high cube, so 9.5 foot tall, 40 foot. We'll drop it on the pad that we put in with the doors facing toward the east. I'm sorry. We'll drop it in that way. They'll position it on the pad, and
So we'll need to get a welder to come cut in the door, like a man door to it.
well, and then we can go from there.
So the doors aren't cut in on it?
Well, you have the two
Just the-
large.
Oh, okay.
You have the two large opening
You need a man
indoors.
door cut in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then we can put a passcode for the
Okay.
teams to get in.
That's why I was just wondering if it came all cut like that before.
Are they, Dave? I don't know. I'm asking you. Are they pretty good about dropping those units and putting them where you want, or once it's dropped, it is where it's at?
They're pretty good at getting where you want it.
I mean, it's a straight pad. He should be able to roll it, but
Right.
obviously, I'd like it to be straight. Is that something the backhoe could move if need be?
40-footer storage.
I know,
unit.
it's gonna be heavy.
Nah, it'd be pretty close.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the best we can.
Hey, are they going to be filling it up right away?
No.
I mean, is it something we could use for storage?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be good for my storage. I'd have to build a ramp up to it and all that.
Okay.
and they will use part of it, I think, because we're getting into winter, so we'll pull all the goals off the field for winter.
Yeah, I'd like to, shelve it in the inside so they can hang balls in there, and it's bulletproof, so they can store their stuff in there. Nobody's breaking into it. So,
Yeah.
we will probably have to eventually look into, we put our electric panel and maybe a camera at some point on the field. The more stuff we put out there, we'll need that.
Dress it up
I
with a
think we need
Western
more than one
Reserve
over there.
roof.
What's that?
Dress it up with a Western Reserve roof.
The storage unit? Yeah,
You can make
I
this
think you can do
something
just about anything with those. We can stack them and do multiple houses with them.
else. Yeah.
I do have an idea for next year. It's getting too cold this year, but if we can at least get it primed this year, next year I have a company out of Ravenna that'll come do some mural drawings on it to give us kind of a township mural. And then on the doors, on both ends, they'll do the township logo and the field logo. So it'll look pretty neat.
Okay. We do need a camera there, but I think we should,
We need
We
a
should
camera
have
there
more-
eventually.
okay, but I think we should shine it over towards the council house as well in that back area, since we have that whole,
Well, you need two then.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a couple different systems. Put it this way, no one's breaking into this storage unit. So for
Say
now,
no one.
we're good.
Never say never.
I'd like to watch it.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So I'll put the biggest lock you've ever seen on it. So.
All right.
And that's all I have. That's an update for that.
All right. Any questions for administration?
Nope.
Hearing none, we'll go to economic development. Mike Ladd, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Nick. Zoning Commission meeting is October 14th at 7 o'clock. Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is October 20th at 7 o'clock. Regional Planning is October 13th at 4:30. The tax increment financing agreement is in draft form, and we continue to have meetings with D. Hoff and our attorneys. School is in agreement, and the township is getting 5%. That will be coming, this company will be coming to you next meeting. Nick, I forwarded you one of the emails on that.
Yeah, I did see that. So we will need to add them on the agenda as a meeting. Yes. So can you get that to either Kirsten or Rochelle to add them for next
I
meeting?
will. Yep. Celebrate Portage Dinner is tonight. Maple Crest Development is a finalist for the Economic Development Award,
What time does that dinner start tonight?
5 o'clock.
5 PM start, or is it 5
Or I
PM?
think it's hors d'oeuvres at 5. It said
Okay.
that we could get there as early as 4:30, so
Okay.
I'll probably be there at 4:30.
one is that, Roy, did we get those extra spots filled?
I think we did.
Okay.
I think we did. Dave's coming.
Okay,
And I think Mark Adetti may be coming.
okay, I just didn't want to have them sitting out there empty.
And then, all right.
Here's your Brimfield Nursing Home, finishing up underground and starting on the foundation. Things are going good, really good there. Redwood Apartment Homes, they're pouring the slabs now. Most of the underground plumbing is in. Hickory Hill subdivision continues to install and grade. Hamrick Manufacturing is grading and starting the utilities. They have their construction drives in. Most of their topsoil is pushed off. Wave Wash Car Wash continues to work on the building itself. Jiffy Lube has started grading and utilities at the Cascades. And our permit fees are $216,491.76. $1.70, which is still our highest recorded year. That concludes.
Hey,
my
Mike,
report.
is Cranberry Creek normal on how quick they put stuff up compared to Hickory Hills? It just seems like that's been going on for a long time.
Cranberry Creek really went fast compared to what's going on.
Was
over there.
Hickory
No,
Hills
that's
going
just-
slow?
Yeah,
in
it's very,
comparison?
very slow.
Okay. Do they have any idea when they're going to be done with all that stuff?
No, I don't have any timeline on it, but
Okay.
it's just, they have small crews out there. I go out there and there's one crew working, so.
Yeah, it just seems like it's taking a long time.
Yeah.
Anything on Aldi's?
Yes, they're going to be at the next Board of Zoning Appeals, further signs. There's another monument sign coming in. I think it's called Brimfield Crossroads or something. It's got Brimfield in it, and we were very adamant that it had to say Brimfield. So there'll be Maple Crest Cascades across the street, and then this one would be the Brimfield one, right at the border of Talmadge, and Aldi's is the first business in there. So
On the border of Talmadge? I thought it's right in.
but I'm just
But it's
saying
still all
this whole
Brimfield.
development will take it all the way to the border of Talmadge.
But they're making it a separate development, so it'll be Brimfield, whatever, across.
Yeah, I think it's
Came up with,
Crossroads,
so
yeah.
It'll just be a third development there.
Yep.
I think this is a
So
good
is it
advertising as they come in, they'll see a big Brimfield
Is
sign.
it closer to Brimfield or closer to Talmadge?
Aldi's is the first one, closer to us. So right next to the car wash.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Separate entrance into it as well.
So it'll be.
When do you guess they'll be breaking ground? Next year?
January, February, maybe, with Aldi's.
What's the forecast look like? I know that we hit our highest year this year with zoning people. We had a lot of construction. Are we going to be on track for a similar year in 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got all the housing. We have most of the Redwood's all got to be built. We have these manufacturing companies still coming in.
It's going to be a lot bigger, I think, than this year, I bet you.
It's got good potential.
You'll get those big chunks from the manufacturing companies.
Mhm. The TIFs will start too. We have 3 separate TIFs.
Yeah.
So that's way more than our permits. Considering that, and then you've got the payroll income tax on these companies coming in, which is going to be in the hundreds of thousands just in.
Plus, we already got it right now with the construction guys out there.
Well, I'm just talking about the payrolls from these companies we're
Right.
bringing in. Just the one company alone is going to be over 100,000 in more taxes coming just to Brimfield, not to anywhere else. So.
Do we, and I know you might have already told me this, but do we have any timeline on our welcome Brimfield signs when those are going in the?
Yeah, so surveyor's laying it out for Craig. So Mike Mullen is going out and staking them out. And then as soon as surveyor's done, Craig's going in there and starting.
So that could be next
Any
couple
day,
weeks or something.
any day now. Mhm.
Nice. So that's 2 to start off with, right?
2, both of them on
43.
43, yes. Still working on the 18 ones.
All right, good.
The demolitions,
Mhm.
how's that proceeding?
Should be starting any day. I gave him the green light. Yeah.
And we signed off on those.
Last meeting.
POs, yes, last night.
We did.
Okay, and I did have a complaint about next to Pizzuti's,
Mhm.
and I didn't know
He's-
what to tell her.
He's still in violation. You're talking about Talmadge
She's
Roofing.
About the trucks.
He's still in violation. We have that with the county. So it's a continuous thing. He does have building permits on it, but he kind of oversteps his boundary. Like he pulls the permits for everything he's doing, and then he just makes a mess, during
Apparently
the
one of the
construction.
trucks doesn't have a license plate on it or something.
Okay.
I don't know, I just haven't had a chance to look.
The other side of Pizzuti's is even worse with that fire. So I'm gonna have to do something with that house pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I was
No.
wondering.
I saw
No.
the dirt moved in there, were they gonna rip it down?
Yeah, we're gonna probably go after it as an abandoned home.
I've had a lot of complaints on the mowing house next to Alder Care too.
Mhm.
They continue to
That one is
run a
soon.
company out of there, even though they said they're not.
That one is soon. We should be having, I talked to Mark last evening. He was prosecuting late, so I talked to him about 9:00, but we have Dorley and the 1435 Talmadge. We should be wrapping up pretty soon. There's some letters going back and forth between Brett Benz and Mark on what we're doing with all of this stuff in the house. I guess they have a game plan now, as long as the county signs off on that and we're good, we should be able to take those down.
Yeah, when you
pretty
go
soon.
by in the morning, he's got so much stuff in there, it's out on Talmadge Road. They're loading
He's
up
a-
their equipment, but they're not running the business.
He's a mess. He's a mess. My concern and what I want to get through with the prosecutor's office and the courts is that even if we take the building down, he's not to be running that business there because I'm worried he's just going to go on a vacant lot then and start doing it. So
So how do you solve that?
through the courts.
The courts are so freaking behind.
Mhm.
Hey, Mike, I believe Pizzuti's own the burnt down house.
Oh,
They
okay.
rented that.
That's why they didn't complain on that side.
Yes, 'cause so in case you're looking,
The
she works,
city's on the house?
yeah, I think it was a rental property.
Yeah, that was the third house, the rental property.
Yeah. Yeah, we have many more coming. We have many more vacant houses.
But if you hit her up, she's there all the time. I bet you she'll.
There's an easy one I'll probably bring to you guys next meeting. It's on Mogador. They're 261. That house has been falling in for years, so we'll probably remove that one next.
Well, at least you're getting some of them.
We do have the one, Mike, I wanted to give you an update. High Point, Viewpoint, the one I called you about with the dump truck.
Mhm.
I've gotten pictures every night now. of
Yeah, and
parking
I
the truck.
talked to the chief about it, so yeah,
Okay.
we'll be addressing it.
So yeah, I have two citizen complaints now on that, and one of them has sent me photos every night of that dump truck. So it's the same issue that we're having over on Sunnybrook.
Go ahead and send me the latest photos and then we'll send it off. It's gonna be the same thing as the other one. We're dealing with Seuss. Dave Seuss.
Anything on Sunnybrook? I know it's with the county.
No, other than that, I signed the complaints for the court and we're just waiting a court date. So,
All right, yeah, if you could just follow up on that one,
mhm.
we can get that initial letter sent out. And then
Mhm.
once that letter is delivered, let me know, because I told him, I said, listen, I don't need any more photos at this point. But
Right.
once the letter's delivered, if we're not seeing a change in behavior, let me know. And
Right,
then I'll start to build our case.
right. And he's coming in the backside and then he pulls up and,
Yeah, he cleared out a whole path to come in the back way.
yeah.
Nick, where's it at?
It's over on, what is that?
High Point
High
near
Point.
43, first house on the left.
It sits right on the corner of 43.
Mhm.
And he's the guy that just passed away, right?
He just moved in.
Yeah, so
This is a new owner.
new owner.
I put it on 43.
And people are pretty upset because not only is he parking his truck there, but I guess he dug up a cable and there's wires hanging in the yard. And everybody worked really hard to have nice homes back there and take care of the properties. And this guy just showed up.
So I just turned left and it's right there?
Right across from Terry's house.
Right across
He's
from
a-
Terry's house.
Yeah, I think he's a single father.
Have you had contact with him yet, or?
No, we will now.
We just had to get
It's
enough
the
complaints.
same situation as the Dave Seuss on Sunnybrook. It's like the trucks come and then they go, and then they come and then they go. So it's never consistent. I could go past 4 times throughout the day, there's nothing, and then that evening it pops up, It's like
Well, that's how it is on Sunnybrook. 'Cause I
same
keep
thing. Mhm.
Writing down notes every time I drive by there.
Right.
Yeah, it
But
looks
we
like
have-
he just pulls the truck out Monday through Friday to drive during the day, but he's home by 3 o'clock.
Yeah. And then we have a bunch of pictures and videos off of Sunnybrook. I think will be good for court with that.
Is that a big truck?
Yeah. Commercial vehicle.
Before you issue these,
Supposed to be high winds today, so a lot of tree scratching on the roof.
anything else for zoning? All right, thank you. And we'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Road Department, Dave, floor is yours, sir.
Well, morning, everybody. I'd like to get the board's approval to accept an easement from the Portage County Commissioners for our Howe Road project, the Howe Road Culverine project. With the new design, we have to extend out Crystal Parkway a little bit, and the county commissioners own a chunk of land there, and we're gonna take a small easement where we can widen the road plus extend our pipe a little bit. It's all on the plans. This is just taking time to get to this point. I was gonna have you guys sign, but I need a notarizer, or whatever you call them, person here to watch it, sign it.
Okay.
But if we could at least accept it for now, that way I can move it forward.
All right, well, let's, we can at least approve it and then we can find a date that we can meet with the note, or maybe over to PD, because I think we can get it done there. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the easement from Portage County Commissioners.
I can second that.
Any questions on that easement? All right.
Is there an address at all? Do we have?
Is there a partial number on there?
There's probably somewhere on here, but. Well, John, you probably quicker than I can.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Motion passed. I'll find that address.
Okay, the second thing on the agenda that I'd like to get the board's approval for is, we'd like to get a walk-behind cutoff saw, which is, a motorized one from Tucker's. It'd be $3,700. What it is instead of having a guy bent over running a hand cutoff saw, that's a walk-behind where you stand behind it and run it with a water system. So it'll constantly spray water where we're cutting concrete, asphalt, say bricks or whatever we're cutting through. And it'll control the dust, plus a guy ain't trying to hold the saw down face first in the dust and stuff like that. So I'd like to get the board's approval to move forward with that.
And that's from Tucker's?
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the purchase of a concrete saw from Tucker's for $3,700.
I'll second that for discussion. Dave, on that, does that saw, is it a new product or is it a used piece? Are we getting something new?
It's a new saw.
Okay.
I mean, it's a brand new saw. It's stuff that's been in the works. People use them for a long time.
Right. Well, I'm just making sure because they changed a lot of the rules with those saws about 3 years ago for silica dust exposure. So I want to make sure you guys are going to have enough water flow so that we don't have to deal with.
No, it's a 2021 saw. So.
Okay. And you guys have a way to get water to it?
Yes,
The job
well,
sites?
I'm having a tank installed on it. It would be a 6.5 gallon water tank right on the machine that goes right to the saw.
Okay.
Plus we can have a hose hook up over here with a small tank. So we'll generate enough moisture to keep it from dusted up and stuff. Plus it keeps the diamond tip blade cooled off.
Right.
So that way it doesn't burn up so fast, so.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we weren't dealing with silica for our guys if we're going to cut any concrete.
But we should be in real good shape that way.
Other questions on it?
Well, just one thing, when you're working with Kirsten, can you just pick it out of one of those other?
Yes. Oh, no, that'd be fine.
All right. Roll call for
All those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
yes.
Sue?
yes,
Motion passed.
And then the third thing I got for you, and then I'll go into my boring meeting part, is I'd like to bring to the board hiring of Tim Fox per drug test background check. And its start date would be around the week of Columbus Day, which is October 11th. I'd like to bring to the board, be able to bring Tim on as the full-time employee.
Okay. Well, Tim's a great person, so I'm gonna make that motion that we approve the hiring of Tim Fox for drug test background check and the start date will be announced.
I'll second that.
It's a great addition, Dave.
He'll help out a lot. I mean, he's a great mechanic, great guy, so it'll.
He was a good employee the last time he was here. I'm happy to see him come back.
Yeah, I am too, so. Okay, all those in favor, Mike? Heck, yes. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
yes.
Motion passed.
And then just for my report, I just wanted to let you know, we did some work on the community days. We finished up the Berman, the chip and seal project. The weather's not cooperating with us. They were gonna be here Thursday or Friday. Now it might get pushed back a couple days because of the rain. They're trying to complete a project to get here. So they will be here Berman, chipping and sealing within the next week. So Melway, I've talked to Terry from Melway on Monday. Everything's set to go. It's just weather related. And the sad part is they've been having a little bit of issues with COVID down at their shop. So they've had to take their 4 crews and make 2 crews because they've had various people off, truck drivers, that stuff. So they're coming along. They'll be here shortly. The weather will be fine. It'll be in the 70s, which is perfectly fine with the polymer that we use with our chip and seal. So we'll be in good shape. It'll take them about 2 days.
Okay.
They'll be in and be out. Plus, we did some cleanup of the trucks and equipment for community days. We put in a electric trench for the soccer fields. And right now, I put out to a couple places trying to get prices for road striping for our roadways before winter time. So, and that concludes my report.
Hey, Dave, I just want to thank you, man, for all the help you did with that Brimfield Community
They were
Day.
there late.
I know you were.
Dave was there
You
late.
were a trooper.
I got the BS with Darlene a lot.
She was happy that you were there. She said you wouldn't leave until they were all done.
Well, I made sure they got out safe. I didn't want, I mean, that's, I don't know.
She was very thankful for that, so.
Well, it went well. Just if we could get them band dudes to move a little faster, putting their equipment on.
Start loading it for them.
Well, they don't, oh, you know, magicians, right? Well, I mean, musicians, whatever you call them. They don't like you touching their stuff.
We can be off the stage in 20 minutes.
Oh, one guy liked to
We
talk.
gotta take a leak. Can you,
I did have one thing for you, Dave. I know we talked about it at Brimfest, but I got another phone call on it. Mike Tinlin,
Yes.
he said that the ditch in front of his house is holding water. It holds water during storms up to the discharge pipe for his
Gutters.
his sub pump. So he's concerned about it, that the water's not moving. It sits there for days. He's irritated and he wants township to fix it and he wants to fix it now.
Well, like I said before, like we discussed, the ditch is doing its job on our purpose. I mean, when I get there, we get there, it's, I've never noticed water that high blocking off his pipes down through there, so.
Right, because when the first time he called me, I called him back, I said, and left him a message. So, you know, what is the issue that you want fixed, right? Other than there's water sitting in your ditch, it's a ditch. It's gonna hold water.
Right.
And that's what he called back with, is that it's now rising up to his sub pump.
It's, I've been through there after storms. The water, yeah, there's a puddle down near his neighbor's driveway and stuff. It's not the whole ditch. The whole thing ain't holding water. I mean, I've been through there. I mean, I understand he's getting worked up on a little bit, but the problem is the ditch is doing our purpose. I mean, by our Ohio revised code, we're just water off the roadway. When the ditch flows, it flows. It doesn't have to be
Draining.
right the moment the rain hits the ditch. So
Right.
his sub pumps might have been put in too deep, but I haven't noticed the water above the sub pump pipe where the water doesn't come out.
Okay.
Today'll be a good day to check.
Well, yeah, but it's just,
No, I mean,
I
rain.
mean, the thing is, I mean, I hate to say it, it is what it is for the time being. I mean, we went in and tried to fix it once before the way they wanted it fixed, and now it's not the way they want it. Now it's going to be a different story.
Well, yeah, that was his complaint too, is that, well, we did it last year, but it wasn't to his liking. So then he was gonna pay a crew to do it, but you told him that his crew couldn't mess with your ditches. And so he's like,
Now, see, that's where, no, I hate to say it this way. This is where people stretch the truth a lot, because he never mentioned he wanted to bring somebody in to take care of it or do this or that. So, I mean, this is what irritates me about a lot of this stuff.
right. Well, I know, that's why I'm just,
Right.
because I just keep getting the phone calls. So
They
I'm like, I
twist
can't get over
the
it.
things, which if he would have said that, I would have said, fine, have him come in and take care of it. You know, I mean, if that's what you want to do, you want to pay somebody to take care of it, take care of it. I mean, I got people call me every day of the week, all week, because all of a sudden their problem is all of a sudden the main issue of Brimfield, which it's not. We have a lot of other issues going on, so.
Right.
His issue is not actually a problem in the township right at the moment. Our water's getting off our roadways, roadway's not flooding. It's not an issue of,
Can he make changes to that ditch though? Does he have to come through you first to make sure? it
he
doesn't
would have to get
impact other
a
people?
bond and a permit.
Okay.
They would have to let me know, I mean, quote unquote, he can't come in and then close it. Because now he's defeating the purpose of, quote, the water is what he's talking about, because now you wouldn't see the water, but it would probably still be trapped inside the pipe.
Right.
So, but it's, no, yeah, he'd have to come through and get road bonds and permits and stuff. They just can't go in and just start digging.
And I know I keep telling you about this, but you know, he needs to wait till you get that guy on Edson done, or Estes.
Well, I'm so far behind everything this year with the rain. It's,
Right.
we're beating against the wall.
Realize there's multiple projects going on.
Well, I know, I
'cause we
mean-
have another one, I think, is it the other one back in Kings Meadow too? The one with the,
Yeah,
We need to redo
the
the
riser on
casting.
the King Meadows. We have, actually in King Ridge, off of Gate Road, we have a ditch enclosure. It's another safety reason we're starting to wash our road, this and that. I mean, we got multi-purpose ones that.
But I mean, you sort of do it the best you can in order, right? I
Right.
know Brian's been, it's almost 2 years now.
Right.
Well, but what he's saying too is that
Right.
project doesn't even have a problem. There's nothing going on from our perspective.
Right.
It's,
So that one on Estes.
Right,
it's
those
the
are-
drain pipe that's shooting the water up in his property.
right.
Right, but
I mean,
that
are you
one
still-
took us a year to figure out if we had a real easement there and stuff like that.
Were you still hoping to get to it this year?
I'm hoping, I mean, like I said before, I'm hoping the weather holds where I get a couple nice weeks. Problem is, you go on a project like that between houses, and I start ripping pipes out. If it's a muddy mess, well, we're gonna have twice, 3 times the money to fix things up, and come back out of. So, I mean, I understand the homeowners are upset to a point, but like I told you before, Mike, like that one there, I understand the water builds up there, but if you go back a couple hours after the storm, it subsides. I mean, it's slow moving, water shoots up from a heavy rain, but then it.
Just as long as you got it on your radar.
No, it's on my radar. That's, all these projects are on my radar. It's just getting time to get to them.
Well, now that you got Tim, you can.
He's got a big radar.
Right. My radar seems to change every day.
Okay, well, I just wanted to bring it up
Right.
officially in the meeting because he's called again, so.
Well, like I said, I mean, the ditch is doing its purpose for us. I mean, yeah, it may not look prettiest for him, but like I said, I've never been through there yet where I seen the water up on the ditch covering pipes and everything else. So.
What's the address of that one?
I don't have the address in
When
front
Tim
of me.
starts, can you make sure?
I can give you his name and number if you want to talk to him.
Just, you talk to him again, just let him know. There's so many other people.
Well, that's what I said.
I mean, he can't just shoot from top of the list.
Right.
Maybe he thinks he has a fast pass.
Just you pick it or whatever this letter.
All right, anything else for road department? All right, hearing none, we'll move into Parks and Rec.
All right. Under old business, I have an update about the community garden grant that we discussed last time. Unfortunately, we were not selected for that. That was the Serve Ohio grant. We will be reapplying in the spring for that, so therefore our ribbon cutting event is going to be rescheduled most likely for the spring. We're also going to pursue some other funding options as well, not just the grant, just in case we do not receive it again, because Crystal and I would like to proceed with this project. So the total cost for that again was about $1,500. So
That's what you think it'll cost to build the community gardens?
yes, that's what we had budgeted for it.
I mean, if you can get it, is it something you want to consider starting yourself or?
Sure, I'd love to partner with Crystal because it helps achieve a goal of
Right.
hers as well as mine. And then her volunteers would help maintain it. So if we could we're both going to work together to find the funding for
Because we
that.
did have one. Remember, Dave, we had the community garden for a bit, but there's no water. So it was down in that meadow,
Yeah.
down there from the playground equipment.
We received a donation of a rain barrel from Portage County Soil and Water, so that kind of helps take care of the water problem. If we really need water, we could get some watering cans and get it from here and walk over there. So
Or if you consider putting it over there at Cranberry Creek.
that's a possibility too. I was gonna say, but there isn't water hookup up there either.
Yeah, but you got the shelter, you could put the rain barrels.
Yeah, that's true. That's a possibility.
I think it'd be nicer there. It's flatter and
Hmm.
won't ruin the meadow.
I think,
Plus for the people stealing, it's easier to get to.
Yeah.
or somebody drives a truck over.
As long
We
as,
have a camera there. As long as somebody eats it, I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah. Next item, Brimfield Community Days. Thank you, everybody, for participating, helping, setting up, tearing down, sitting in the hot sun with me all weekend. I really appreciate it. I think I've heard some really great feedback already, and I appreciate all the constructive criticism that I'm getting from everybody. I think this year's event went really well, but there's definitely room for improvement next year, so thank
well, that
you.
was just getting your feet wet.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be able to swim next time.
Oh, sure. I have 100 ideas, so.
I thought it went spectacacer. I thought it was
That was great.
great. It was great.
We got to ride on the magical train,
Yeah.
and that was the best part. so.
I rode in it.
Do you have to hold your head
I even
outside
had
of
somebody
it?
else sitting up there with me.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. Brimfield Parks Advisory Committee, our next meeting is October 21st at 6:30 p.m. So we were accepting applications through September 13th. I believe, so we've received 4 applications so far. I was looking to fill 5 seats. So I think we may just reduce the committee size. I'm fine with that. We may just reduce it down to 5 or 6. So we will see how that goes. We just weren't getting a great response for it this time around. I think last year we got a bigger response because everybody was at home and Zoom meetings were easier to attend. And now with everything picking back up, it's harder to find the time to attend. So I will have updates on that for the next meeting. New business, upcoming programs. On the 28th of this month, we have our Lunch and Learn program on bats. On October 12th, the registration starts for the Christmas lighting contest. That would be the internal Brimfield Township Christmas lighting contest.
What date is that again?
October 12th.
Okay.
It's a Tuesday, I think. And then the 16th, we have the Fall Harvest Festival coming right up.
Have we booked the movie yet?
No, I'm going to do that this week.
Okay, I just want to make sure we get that booked.
Yep.
What, did we make a final determination on trunk or treat?
I spoke to the community groups about it on at Brimfest Community Days, and they were all on board for it, so I can start advertising for that now as well.
Okay, so we'll do trunk or treat and movie and bonfire. So Craig, just make sure you have staff available because we'll need them down there to do the fire.
All right. So we said all the events we're gonna do that day.
Yeah.
Well, we had talked about a band. I don't know if we need too
You're
many
gonna
things.
have a movie.
Yeah, I don't have any advances. We're having the
I was saying,
movie
we're
plus trunk or treat.
Getting a little crazy if we do all that, I think.
Right.
Just enjoy nature.
Okay.
And we'll have activities for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And we'll have,
Yeah.
but we'll be looking for donations of hot dogs, cider, and we can get the pumpkins again too. That was always fun for the kids, the pumpkin decorating.
How many hot dogs you need?
How many did
Well,
we
let me
get?
know.
Yeah.
I can donate the hot dogs.
Okay.
much cider did we? How much?
I'm trying to remember how many.
Mike, we did
last
80 last year.
Can you just let me know? And I'll-
Yeah.
And we just put them in crock
We'll get the
pots.
hot dogs, so we-
No, we did them on the grill. We brought the grill down.
Oh, I thought we did them in crock pots.
I can get,
Remember, I stood down there and grilled the past 2
I can get to
years.
the box.
Oh, you were there?
Okay.
Just give me a week's leeway, so I remember. What's the date of that?
Roy, we'd like to have your staff
October
down there.
16th.
Lisa, they make a present.
October
Yeah.
15th?
Mike
16.
Zoni
Okay.
should be there.
Fall Harvest Festival.
What time is it gonna be?
You guys are listening.
What's the time on that?
I will have to double check on that.
Well, just let me know. I'll
Yeah.
get the
Can you
stuff.
get them early and put them down here even? So you
I
don't have
think
to
we
worry
made it
about them?
early this year.
Yeah, good.
Put 'em in the
When people, I mean, I'll just keep them in the freezer at my place.
Yeah.
The buns come in frozen, so we'll just have to pull them out a day ahead.
Okay.
I mean, I got ketchup and mustard. Well, usually I do since our vendor keeps short of everything.
We will also need a grill brought down that day so that we can cook on it. So
Yeah.
Craig or PD, whoever wants to bring it down.
What time does that fall harvest start?
She's looking it up. I think it's like 5 or 6, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I think we had it originally booked earlier because the Parks Committee wanted to do it earlier, but
Right.
I think we might bump it a little later.
We'll have to look at whatever's on the postcard.
So I'm bringing Great Lakes Christmas sale.
Sure. Some koozies.
And we all have to remember while we're talking about this stuff, the election day dinner, so we get some participation.
Yeah, I will be there for that, help and serve.
We just need to bump it up like it used to be. It used to be such a great tradition. You remember that, Jim? Yeah. You know, things changed and
We'll keep advertising.
we will. Okay.
We
And
have
then I had.
4 to 9:30 for that.
49 day?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be dark.
Well, but we have to for the movie.
Yeah, so really the festivities are gonna go from like 4 to 8 probably. and
8 or
then maybe we'll
8:30.
go 8
But we'll keep the bonfire going while the movie's going too. so.
What's the movie? I know you told me.
I think we're gonna go,
Hocus Pocus.
we could do, I mean.
Sign another, that's what Cotton Falls is doing.
Yeah, I wanted to do, I mean, we can do whatever we want, that's fine. I was just trying to find something. I know everybody
Sound of
told me
Music.
about what happened with Back to the Future, so I vetted the movie beforehand. I was thinking Nightmare Before Christmas,
Okay.
if anybody has an issue with that.
I don't like that movie.
You don't?
Well,
Well, I was gonna say, if it's down to you not liking it.
It's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, the company I was going through didn't really have a lot of Halloween type movies, so.
Right.
What's that one where those dead people are in the attic? With,
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Also,
they're coming out with a sequel, I think, that was reading.
I love Beetlejuice, not appropriate for all audiences, unfortunately.
Beetlejuice made.
Great. And then my last item is I got a call from Marcia from Elegant Lighting last week. She is requesting information about our Christmas light plans for 2021. I told her that Craig and I would be willing to meet with her. If anybody else would like to meet with her, I will include Darlene on that as well. Obviously didn't really have time to call her last week, but I will call her this week and set a
Well, we're
time
missing
for
a bunch of the trees that we had up there before, plus no one's gonna be able to drive through there, so.
Well, but the plan was, we were gonna deploy like the big tree lighting at the corner, just so we don't miss that centerpiece. But then moving all of our lights and
Kelso.
stuff over to Kelso,
That's
to the community grounds there.
So
But there's two pieces we wanted with it that we talked about during Brimfest was down Kelso Drive, having a line that you could drive by and see some of our displays, but then also on the grounds itself, creating like a winter wonderland walking path. So you would start at the school, walk through the grounds and end up at the barn, and then Santa would be in the barn on the Christmas night. So, but we need to figure out cost of that, how much we have to work with, who can donate to that.
we're not gonna spend as much in the park up there, so.
Yeah, so we can transfer all that over, and I think it's also potential maintenance improvement, maybe. I don't know if we can work it that way.
Well,
I agree. Well, you've
Okay.
seen Stowe, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Stowe does a great job with that walkthrough. And, you do see so many, a lot of people driving, but so many people walking.
Yeah.
but we also want to set it up that night so that people come down that road, they can see the lights. Might have some of the handouts that we tried to do last year, implement it this year, so we have some community vendors out there. And then meeting with Santa at the
And
end.
then the barn is perfect. as you saw, they got that sled up there. What better way to do it?
Well, and if we have COVID issues, then Santa can just stand on the corner.
Right, that's the nice thing is, then you don't have to walk, or people that don't feel comfortable walking, they can just drive through.
And
And at the end, we're gonna give them the maps to be able to drive all the houses in the community.
They can still see Santa. You just.
But if I'm in the shed though, or in the barn, they
Yeah,
can't
you
see.
can wave at them. They can come up and they don't have to go up to see
Right.
you, but they can still, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that walking path would be a big.
But we need to walk that as a group then with elegant lighting, or if we can't be there, meet beforehand and give ideas to Craig and Cassie so that we get it
Get it right.
big and right.
Right.
So,
So Roy, you're gonna still have lights on your place, right?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, we would do it for them.
yeah.
Yeah, we take care of the lights for that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It'll just make it, a great Christmas.
Are you okay with the lights that we've had in the past? Do you have any issues?
No special requests?
Put a Rudolph out in the front of your
No.
parking lot?
We're good.
Now the Kelso, they have their own lights too, right? Because I think she was talking about decorating part of the barn. She had all that electricity put in.
I don't know.
We'll have to talk with them and see what they have, if they have
They had
anything,
much though.
but
I don't think they had very much.
Okay.
I thought they did some last year. I
Like
don't
an
know if
old fashioned
those were,
style.
yeah, I don't know if those were
lights.
theirs or if they rented them, but,
They didn't rent.
okay.
We just got so many options there. They can still, even if they want, they can use that room they got downstairs, right, or whatever. And they, we can't tell the Kelso what to do, but it sure be a great time to have a tour of the house if somebody wants to see it.
right,
Because they need numbers,
right.
so.
You can incorporate the arch over there as the entrance into the
Oh, yeah, that's a
the
great
old
idea.
porch.
Would there be any need for those standing heaters?
Possibly.
Okay, just wanted to mention it.
So their big concern was, number one, electric hookup. I wasn't sure at the time exactly what they would have to deal with, so they want to walk around and make sure, that they could.
There's a
hook
lot of
everything up.
electric over there.
Yeah, now with the barn and everything.
Well, and the arch has electric out there.
And then their other concern was, COVID inspired a lot of other communities to do drive-through light shows. I know they do the Lake Metro Parks does a big drive-through now, and they help them with that. So a lot of the big pieces that we got last year might be going to them. So the sooner we contact them, the better, the more we can get dibs on some of the better
We've
stuff.
had them for 15 years. We should get first dibs.
Yeah.
What about the train?
I was just gonna say, and the other thing was, the gentleman that runs the Magical Train did offer his services for the community, or for the Christmas light drive-through. If we wanted to do that, he said he could do it for the same price that he did for Community Days.
He decorates it like the Arctic Express, the Polar Express.
Okay, that could be fun too.
Yeah. Are you charged $1,200?
It was, I think, $18.50.
How much?
$18.50.
$18.50.
We sure had a lot of people though.
He did.
Oh,
He was there for 9 hours, so, I mean.
He hauled a lot.
And that concludes my report.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I have one other, I really want to get this date set for Brimfest, so I called
Yeah.
Sandy from the German American Club. They're gonna have theirs the weekend of the 11th. And that's set in stone for them. So we have either the 2nd or 3rd or the 16th or 17th. So, and I'm just tired of waiting on, I don't care when the balloon fair is or any of that stuff.
Right.
People should be following us, not us following them. So,
16th or 17th always seems to be better.
Yeah, because it gives us at least the shooting chance of it being a little cooler. The second, third, I think it's just gonna be miserably hot. All of us are gonna be miserable.
It was
So,
fun there this last time.
yeah, it was hot.
oh, it was hot.
So I would say let's just set it for the 16th and 17th so that we can start booking some pieces that have to be booked a year out in advance.
Yeah, it'll help me if you want me to do the bands a little bit easier without scrambling like we had to do this time.
Yep.
And
Would you want to make a motion
I'm
first?
gonna make a motion that we go ahead and are we gonna call it Brimfest next time? I think we should.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna take the name back over.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we start planning, the date for Brimfest will be September 16th and 17th. So we can get ahead on this.
I'll second that for discussion. Cassie, with that, we need to book food vendors over the next couple weeks now,
Yes.
some food trucks. Let's just lock them in and reiterate with them that Brimfield is running this, that all communications should come through us, not the chamber at this
Yes.
time.
And let's, when you get we gotta get on that carnivore. You said you had a good connection with the train guy?
Yep.
Because we might even be behind the date already, so maybe it'd be someone to reach back out to Myers about sponsoring the fireworks again. You got a lot of the pieces put together now, so.
Yeah, it'll make it a lot easier.
Yep, so, and the one thing, I think I talked to somebody, for the bands, I really want to try to get some local businesses to help sponsor them, so we're not putting everything out. If my guys are all alive, I'll sponsor them, but like, John, if you guys would sponsor someone, and Impulse, I heard did a great job, and they're a great bunch of people.
Was that Daryl French's band?
Yeah.
Yes.
Impulse was great.
I'll do Daryl French's band. Put me down for
I'll
that.
just tell them that they're too slow packing up. But I think they're about 90, aren't they?
Daryl French is like 60.
No, it's just, I really think, for next year, I think Nick and I had talked at one point, we need to have the better sound system. So, when that little one you had, you tried, but we need something goes around.
Yeah, we just need to put the big sound system at the township booth and then run cabling and speakers out to different locations.
Right, so we can get our message out. But I was glad to see you guys had 16 people for the pie eating contest. I'd love to see some pictures.
There's a whole video on it.
Okay, I'll have to watch
He lost
it.
by a cherry.
I would like to give some credit to the Field Girl Scouts and Jennifer Shears.
Yes, they were
She
very
was
helpful.
walking around like basically harassing people to join the
Well, that's
pie eating
great.
contest. She was
They were
great.
collecting plates. They made Dave come get away from you. He collected his plate like 5 times.
No, they were so helpful.
And maybe next year, since that went over pretty good, we do a hot dog contest.
I would ask for hot dogs again.
The what?
I ask for hot dogs every year.
So you do hot dogs and pies?
I don't care, but I prefer hot dogs.
He ate a whole pie. Roy's over there looking like he's gonna vomit. Craig's over there eating more sausage after he had a whole plate full of sausage.
I
After he had
told you
a
I prep for that. I don't eat.
Was it like that scene in Stand By Me?
It's
Boom, boom.
It's one of
Roy's
those things
face
you eat
was
so
bad.
quick, you're not really that full because you ate so quick.
Right.
He
I
looked
know
like
that
the
sounds
blueberry
weird,
girl from the
Where do I find that
chocolate
video?
It's
factory.
on our township page. My wife likes the whole thing.
Okay. Who won? Who was the champion of
Pastor
Brimfield?
from
Jeremy Walden from
Yeah.
Go Church.
Oh, I think you need to do a video on that. That's quite an honor.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to do a one-on-one eat-off.
That's why I thought we should have had a hot dog contest right after that for both of them.
There is no way.
Only if they take a glass of castor oil.
Yeah, I tell you. Well, Nick and Rochelle, they were neck and neck there for a while.
Rochelle.
Yeah, we got Michelle to do it too. You missed out on all the fun.
I missed it.
Rochelle ate half the pie, just right there with Nick.
Wow, that's great. Well, thanks, Cassie. You did a great job. I know we sort of pushed you a little bit sometimes, but
Thank
you
you.
know, you've never done this stuff before, so
Well,
baptism by fire. But
I
you,
have the groundwork for next year. I know who to reach out to right away. I'm making a list of everybody to call.
checking it twice.
Yep.
Okay.
But now you start to see how big we want, right?
Yes.
And that's what we're going for with this Christmas event. That'll be the next big one.
Yep.
I mean, if we get that carnival, I mean, we basically have a fairgrounds from the Kelso House all the way down to the side.
Yeah.
And I think Craig had mentioned about putting the food trucks on Falcon Drive.
Yeah, I think we should focus everything from 43 at Pizza Hut around the Falcon Drive so we can still shoot off the fireworks in the field because you can't beat that.
Well, that starts getting over to the back of our property over there as well.
I know, but you can't, I can move the fireworks, but you can't beat being right.
No, I
there.
meant down Falcon Drive starts
Yeah.
going to the plaza,
So
starts
where
getting to the back of our.
Where would you put the carnival rides? On the drive?
Down Kelso Drive.
Just line them up on the road.
Okay.
I put food vendors on Falcon Drive, Jumpies in the middle, like we had it. And, I mean, you don't want it too spread out. And you could probably extend down going into the Plaza Drive if you wanted to.
So all this chatter, I mean, we probably should get a little after Brimfield Community Day. If we just get together for half an hour or something.
All right.
Well, make sure we have Kelso House involved
Right.
too, because I want to keep them
Who
involved in
wants
this
to put
process.
that together, Craig?
Yeah.
Or
I'll get,
would you like to?
Cassie and I will get together and I think over the
Put that
next
together,
2 weeks, we put a date.
Check-
We have to have an
check
admin
charge.
meeting anyways.
Right.
Yeah, let's just pick a time. I think it's fresh in our minds. I think we all need to just,
Again, all I want to know, Cassie's going to have her own thing. She directs all this, but I want to know what went good, what went bad, what do we need to improve on. But for example, one of the good things that I saw that I never thought would go over good is the little baskets of games. There was a whole
Yeah.
football game of kids going out front.
Right.
There was tug of war going on. There's frisbee. That was like entertainment itself. So
Well, we have that email
That
chain
was really
going, so if we
nice.
can just encourage everybody to check your email, add your positives and negatives to it. It's no hurt feelings. We just want to know what was good, what
Right.
was bad, and then we'll compile that, and then we can have a meeting to see what we do.
right, and maybe next year we can have a little chamber support, but I mean, we still have the idea of the parade, and I sure don't want Cassie to have to take anything more, so it'd be nice if maybe we could find a civic group to take
I'm going to
it
speak
over.
up for Cassie. That's a whole nother animal.
I don't
I
want
think
you to,
if-
I don't want you to take care of the
I
parade.
would-
If we're gonna have a parade, we're gonna have to have
It's be
another
the chamber.
organization.
Yeah, that's.
I want you to
It's gonna have to be a chamber issue, which I think we have, there's some potential there for the chamber, so.
I think my biggest request is that we form a planning committee for next year of both staff and volunteers. I think that would be great.
Yeah, well, just let us know. I mean, now you've been through it and you see what it's like and what it can be, and I think it's good.
You
It's a
know,
great partnership with
Aaron's
the
got
Kelso
it.
House.
one of the cool things that I thought, we got to meet all of the significant others of everybody in the township. That was, I actually enjoyed sitting there, talking with Cass. I mean, they were all there helping too, so it was really nice. So, yeah,
Well, that's how it should be.
yeah. So it was kind of almost a fun event for us as well.
Right.
Okay, good.
All right. Anything else under Parks and Rec?
That is all.
We'll move into cemetery. There's no old business, but there is new business from Sue.
I just wanted to give an overall update here. We'll start with the Pioneer Cemetery. I've got 18 blocks ordered. They're on order and they're being made from Portage Marble. And so I'm trying to be very cautious of Dave's schedule. And I would like to, when these come in, because they're having trouble getting them all here at the same time, getting that project made. When they come in, I just want to put in the garage at the cemetery. And then in the spring, Dave can do the foundation or whatever on them, because there is 18 of them. And he's really, really swamped right now. I think there's no issue with him being put in the cemetery garage up there. And on the columbarium, that's on order and it's being made. And what we have, it's going to take a big crane to set that up. It just weighs tons. And that's all with Kevin Nixon they'll take care of all that for us. And then also I want to tell you, the Faith United Methodist Church is having their entrance and exit seal coated next Tuesday. Like next Tuesday afternoon and all day Wednesday, and they came and asked me about parking. So if people come in, I suggested that they park in the cemetery somewhere over there and then just walk over to the church. Or they can check with the Brimfield Steakhouse and see if, won't be very many cars. But you have to stay off of that at least a day and a half or more for that seal coat to work. Just want to know, if you all found strange cars in the cemetery and you didn't know where they were, what they were there for. And anyway, we are in good shape, moving right along.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Kevin is gonna come back and take the monument that we repurposed. He's taking it back in the shop, and they are going to actually cut off of the bottom, the wording. They can't cover that up enough. So
Okay.
they're just gonna shave it all off and leave it blank.
Okay.
It's about like that. That's it.
All right.
Okey-dokey.
Any questions for cemetery? All right, hearing none, we'll go into fiscal.
All right, Nick, I'm gonna let you take it from there, but this is all the paperwork that we need to sign for the FDA or USDA loan for the fire admin building. We do have all the bond paperwork done with Dennis Shawali. We've done all that. So from a closing of the loan, we're ready. Those are gonna be the last pieces of paperwork. So there are multiple copies. We need to sign them all.
Okay, so let's do these as motions too, just because. So the first thing is I'm gonna make a motion.
No, I'm gonna make the motion.
Okay. You can make the motion, Sue, for fire station and administration building bond anticipation note.
Okay. Are you reading that off of there?
Yeah, that's all it is, just a anticipation note.
So we're moving to sign
I
that,
just,
right?
just need to read the top line.
The
and that's
top
it.
line, okay. I'm very pleased to be able to be the liaison to the fire department. And anyway, I just want to say thank you to John and Fire Chief and Nick and all of us that have worked on that to make this happen. It's been at least 20 years in the making. I do know that if we had done this 10 years ago, we would now be out of space. So the timing has just been perfect, and I appreciate the expertise and the education and the know-how that our department heads have to make this happen. So I move that the fire station and administration building bond anticipation note be signed so we can go forward with the project.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike? Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
So we need to sign 2 copies of this. You're gonna have the actual bond copy, and then there's a specimen copy that I need you to sign. Mike, you'll sign second, and Sue will be on the bottom line there. And then John, you will need to sign this one
Yep.
too.
Okay.
John, you're gonna have more signatures than us today, because I have other documents that won't need board approval, but will need your signature here in a second.
Now, do I need to sign that too?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it down. He has to sign it there.
Yeah, but I want Sue to sign it, and then he'll sign it so that he gets the end paperwork in the right order.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You want me to just collect all this over here?
Because John needs to sign them and put them in an order. So
Oh.
John signed that one. And then the next is gonna be another document for John to sign, so I'll give him a minute to catch up. You need a scribe. All right, the next is our certificate in compliance with section 121.22. This is just a document signed by the fiscal officer about the issuance of those $390,000 in bonds that we did.
And you guys had approved that at the last.
Yeah, we approved-
Trustee meeting.
Correct.
This is just the final paperwork.
All right, this is from last meeting too, so we don't need a motion on this one, but this is going to be a signature and no litigation certificate for the bond, for the $390,000 in bonds.
You want to do a motion for that?
Yeah, let's do one just in case. So
Signature and no.
no litigation certificate. Sue, do you want to make that motion?
Yes.
All right, I'll second that. Sure, who's going to sign on that? Not the very bottom one, but one up from it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes,
Sue?
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
There's 3 pages on that to be signed.
Yep. They're just duplicates.
Yeah, there's 3 copies of everything that's over there.
The next is going to be a receipt. This is only for fiscal to sign. This is stating that we certify the $390,000 in building bonds with an anticipation note to September 17th, 2021. This was just an initial bond that we did with a 0.05%.
Yeah, but we get that all back on the 15th of October, so that'll all be over.
The next is a financial statement from John's office about the project itself. So this needs to go to John to sign. Yep. Performance and payment.
These are all Dennis Rowan things.
We will have 3 copies of these same things, so we'll just go through them. They're all exactly the same. These are our AIA documents. So give me one moment, please. Let me see. All right, so these will actually be signed by Chief Mullally on these ones. On the first page, and the second page. So we just need to accept these.
I'll just sign on the tab page.
Yes.
Okay. That one's called what?
This is so we need a motion for the AIA document A101, 2017.
So moved.
A101.
Dash 2017. Stand by, I might have some other ones in here.
We could do all those at the same time.
No, they might be different signatures, so hang on.
Think smart.
This is going to be the performance payment. Yeah, so it's only going to be the A101s because these are separate. Those are the bond ones.
You need a second.
So I will second that. So this will be the A101 documents that have been reviewed by legal counsel.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, Craig, you're going to need to sign 3 documents. All 3 will be signed in 2 different places.
I understand.
And while he's signing that, I'll give you another motion here. I'm going to need a motion for the AIA A312.2010. These are performance and payment bonds.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry. So moved.
Sorry, what was the number again, Nick? I'm sorry.
It's AIA A312-2010 performance bond, because it's going to have the same number. And then there's a A312-2010 payment bond. So we need a performance bond and a payment bond as part of this. This is all have been notarized and submitted by Rycon to us that they meet the requirements here. And this is going to require a signature by Brimfield Township, shows single signature, so this will be mine as chairman. So we have a motion and a second on that.
All those in favor? Mike? Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
As soon as we get those. This goes with that first stack of paperwork. That was for our $390,000 bond.
Shane, when I send all this out, I'm just sending it all to everybody again to that chain email, so in case anybody along the way needs it.
Only send it to Davis.
Okay.
Because Davis needs to review it, let us know if we need to make any corrections, and then he will send it out to everyone.
Okay, all right.
So he's just like the third set of eyes on these documents. So that goes down, so those, and he only needs one of those packets scanned to him, and then we'll disperse them as needed afterwards. And then this is the last piece, this requires no signature, but this is our certificate of owner's attorney, Mark Gaddetti, reviewing this, and he was good with everything in those documents. And that takes us to the first step. So that gives us all of our AIA documents. They now go to Michael Davis. We can get them scanned to him today. From there, he will review and get back with Antonelli. We should expect a response next week, Craig, at the beginning of the week. In the meantime, we should be setting up our USDA loan closing documents. That can be happening while Davis does the review. And then once we get the loan closing, Rycon can start doing some work to at least drop stuff that can't actually physically work. But
Pre-construction meeting falls in where?
Pre-construction will be after USDA or after loan closing.
So after a week and a half.
Yeah, so next week it won't happen. It could be the following week or the week after that, with the caveat that if there was a shutdown, then we're just in a standstill. We're on a holding pattern.
Okay, so in a couple weeks.
Correct. But we were waiting for Leggett to get back from vacation. He comes back today. He's the construction analyst.
Right.
So they will start having those conversations today. I told Antonelli and Davis I would call them both after we sign so that they can start moving pieces.
And I will call Rycon today.
Yes. All right, any questions?
So when can they start moving equipment in?
We don't want to move any equipment in until we sign with our loan closing documents with USDA. They can move it in between that closing and construction or pre-construction meeting, but they can't dig any dirt. They can deploy fences, they can drop materials. So it's going to become a construction area pretty quick in the next couple of weeks. So just be ready for that.
I've been ready. So,
any other questions?
Oh, good job.
thank you.
All right, that's where we're at.
Appreciate your help.
No executive sessions, anything for the good of the order? Anybody from the board? Chick, anybody?
I want to thank you, Nick. I mean, you took this by the horns there, and it was a very difficult process. So thank you for doing all you did for the building and finalizing all this stuff. I mean, that's you made a lot of phone calls, a lot of slapping around yesterday. So
I told you, we'd get this done by today, one way or another. We had to drive
They don't
somewhere.
like him at the USDA anymore, but.
Yeah. I'll just never apply for a loan there. We'll be okay.
But thanks.
All right, well, hearing nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, we are done at 9:34. All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
We are done at 9:34.
Yeah, it was a good meeting.